वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. On the heels of Shri Janmashtami, where all of you celebrated Shri Krishna's birthday, we have now picked up again the next coming shloka in chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Geetā. In the last class, which was our 195th class in this series of classes on Gita on YouTube, we covered verses 8 and 9. Bhagavan Sri Krishna makes significant clarifications on the relation between this created universe and him. How is he related? How is he not related? Both these are mysterious issues. In the 9th verse we saw, Bhagavan said, though I create all this universe or universes, today they talk about multiverse, these actions do not bind me. They do not leave behind even a trace of residue of some kind of mental agony. If we do something well, we feel happy. That is the residue. If we do something not well, certain regret envelops our bosom. That is the residue. We find it very hard to move on to the next event, the next occasion, next situation, the next day, without some residue, without the shadow of the past coming upon us in our present work. Not so with Bhagavan. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Karmani tani na nibadnanti. They don't bind me at all. Udasina vat asinam. For I stay way above all these activities. Asaktam, I am unattached. In this way, there is a relationless relationship between God and His creation. Shankaracharya connects us to the next shloka, namely the 10th, by saying, Tatra bhutagramam imam visrajami. In the 8th verse, Lord Krishna said, I create and I release countless living beings, jivatmas, into this created universe for them to work out their karma and karma phala. Udasina vadasinam. The very next verse he said, I am totally unattached and I am above, far above all this. Shankaracharya says, Visarjami udasinam iticha viruddham uchate. The Pura Pakshi or somebody who has not fully understood this whole matter may say these are contradictory. You cannot say somebody is walking and in the same breath say he is sitting. Either he must be moving or he must be stationary. Elsewhere Shankaracharya says, Sthiti gativat viruddhaye. Sthiti gati. Sthiti means she being at one place, gati means going. Sthana and gamana. Like here too, Visrajami, I create, and Udasinaha, I have nothing to do with all this. Tat pariharartham aha. In the next verse, namely the 10th, the words of the Lord resolve this apparent contradiction. There is no true contradiction for those who understand, and for others, there seems to be contradiction. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetuna anena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. He says, I am like the presiding factor. So I am not directly involved. I preside over, adhyaksha. Aksha means eyes, adi means over. So with your eyes you oversee, but you yourself are not involved in some activity. Then you are adhyaksha. Adhyaksha does not get too much into the details. He at some point or some other point just says, okay, go ahead. Oh, please discuss a little more on this. He may just give some tips. The Adhyaksha's job is not to get headlong into a debate and himself become a debater. He is not the debater. He facilitates debates amidst or among participants of a group. Prakriti suyate. So all this creation, sustenance and destruction are done by Prakriti. Su means to bring forth. Therefore, even for the birth of a child, in Sanskrit, the word is prasuti. Prasuti, or a masculine form of it is prasava. Prasavaha, prasuti is delivery. In certain places in India, where in a hospital, the various sections are indicated by some boards. For that labor ward, they write prasuti graha. Prasuti is delivery. So Prakriti delivers. Prakriti hi suyate. Prakriti brings forth everything. Therefore, in the earlier verse, Lord Krishna no doubt said Visrajami. Now he clarifies. What I mean is, in my presence, Prakriti does everything. Sa chara acharam. Chara, moving, acharam, unmoving, which together cover everything. Therefore, sachara acharam is an idiomatic expression that leaves nothing in this entire manifest universe. Anena hetuna, by this reason, caused by activity of Prakriti, Jagad Viparivartate. Parivartana is change, Viparivartana is going round and round. It's going in circles. The cyclic pattern of creation, sustenance, dissolution, again creation, again sustenance, again dissolution. That is called Viparivartate. Thus, Prakriti is brought into the picture. What is this Prakriti? Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, Maya sarvataha drishimattra swarupena. Drishi means the witness. Drishi means the one who sees. Drishi can at places mean the eyes. The eyes just see. Sarvataha, in all respects, my higher nature is just being witness. Akrivya avikriyatmana. Vikriya is modification, change. I don't change a bit, and therefore I am adhyaksha. Maya and adhyakshena are words from the shloka itself. Maya adhyakshena, mama maya, trigunatmika vidya lakshana prakriti. The word prakriti is from the shloka. Before even bringing that word in the Bhashya, Sri Shankaracharya writes, Maya trigunatmika avidya lakshana. It is Maya. It's a mysterious power. It has three gunas in it. And above all, it is valid in the frame of reference of erroneous perception. Once there is erroneous perception, all these are valid. Once there is an awakening, there is no creation at all. When the rope is seen, the snake vanishes. In the absence of seeing the rope, the snake appears and can scare you by some amount of moving also. The snake seems to raise its hood. The snake seems to slightly move towards you and giving you creeps. Prakriti maya, Triguణात्मिका, avidya lakshana, suyate, utpadayati, produces sacharacharam jagat. Charaihi saha, acharaihi cha saha, sacharacharam. Tatha cha mantra varnaha, there is a certain mantra in Shvetashvatara Upanishad, एको देवः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः सर्वव्यापी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा कर्माध्यक्षः सर्वभूताधिवासः साक्षी चेता केवलो निर्गुणश्च. Especially the last quarter, the Supreme Lord is Sakshi, just the witness. Cheta, of the nature of pure consciousness, and Kevalaha, with nothing next to it, nothing second to it, nothing other than that. It is a homogeneous, uniform principle of existence, of consciousness, Nirgunaha. So the higher nature of God is absolutely without any attributes. Guna. Iti hetuna nimittena. Hetu means karana, nimitta, anena. In this setup, where God is just the witness, and this Prakriti, once more, which has validity in erroneous perception, Kaunteya Jagat Sacharacharam Vyakta Avyaktatmakam Viparivartate Sarvasu Avastasu. With the pure witnessing consciousness presiding over Adhyakshena, Adhyakshatvena, being in the seat of the presiding principle, Sarvasu Avastasu, in all conditions, condition of being created, condition of being sustained, and the condition of being dissolved. In all the Sarvasu Avastasu, the universe keeps moving from one to another, keeps revolving, goes through the cyclic pattern of creation, dissolution, and so on. However, in this scenario, those who are into the error domain, or broadly speaking in life, you have only two options: be in error or see rightly. Those who are in error are bound, no matter how scholarly they are, how rich they are, how talented they are, how well traveled they are, and all that. Your basic seeing is erroneous, you are bound, baddhaha. Your basic seeing is right, samyak darshana, muktaha, you are free. So among the baddhas, those who are bound, from an ordinary point of view, there are gradations. Some are too attached, some are quite detached, some are so advanced in spirituality, some are so mature. But from a higher point of view, anyone who is still in error is in one camp. No need to differentiate. There are only two camps. You are bound or you are free. Don't say among the bound, I am less bound. Don't say among the bound, I am, a very pious person. I am a very saintly person. Don't do all that blah blah. You are bound, period. Try to be free. Work towards your liberation. That's one consideration. Drishi karmatva apatti nimitta hi jagata sarva pravritti. Once the universe is understood to be not on par with God, but it is the drishi karma. It's in the domain of what is the object for witnessing. The witness and what is witnessed. The witness, in a manner of saying, is karta, and what is witnessed is karma, subject and object. Rishi karmatva apatti nimitta hi jagataha sarva pravrittihi. Once you are in the error domain, you are not standing in the balcony of the subject. You have fallen into the realm of the objects. Then your situation is ahamidam bhokshe, I am enjoying this, pashyami idam, I am seeing this, shrunomi idam, I am hearing this, sukham anubhavami, at times I am so happy, dukkham anubhavami, at other times crying, weeping, lamenting, tadartham idam karishye, because I am so sorrowful, I am going to do this so that I can get out of sorrow. So we try to do this, do that. Idam jnasyami ityadya avagati nishta avagatyavasana eva. All these are valid till you have jnana. Avagati means jnana. Once there is the right understanding, all this stops. All this laughing or wailing, celebrating or mourning, pride and shame, guilt and all those vanish. Avagati paryanta, avagati avasana, paryanta or avasana, here avagati nishta. So all these are something to do with whether you misunderstood or understood. Once you understood, then everything stops. Nishta means over there, all this stops. Till then there was gati, and then in that avagati there is sthiti, nishta. So enlightened ones are called by us Brahmanishta, Brahma or Atmanishta, Avasana, that's the culmination. You do Shravana, you do Manana, you do Nididhyasana, everything then comes to an end. Everything meaning your tale of tears comes to an end. Otherwise, everything begins when you are enlightened, the happy story begins. But since there is no up or down there, in a way, worldly people don't value it much. If you get enlightened, then what is the point of living? They say. For them, living means there has to be various forms of troubles. Anyway, Rigveda in the 10th mandala, in the 129th sukta apparently, and 7th mantra, Rigveda is divided into mandalas. Then each mandala has a number of suktas, hymns. And in each sukta, there are mantras. So Rigveda 10.129.7, or in the Yajurveda, not Taittiriya Upanishad, go to the portion called Taittiriya Brahmana. Again there, second chapter, 8th section and 9th mantra. There it is said, Yo asya adyakshaha parame vyoman. There is a certain presiding principle which is in the supreme space, not caught up in the death and birth, not caught up in changes that are seen in the error domain. This is parame vyoman, parame vyomni tyartaha. Parame, seventh case, vyomni, saptami vibhakti, but Vedic language takes some liberty. Parame vyoman, even in the Taittiriya Upanishad, you have Brahmananda Valli. Parame Vyoman, which are there also we say. Vyoman here means Vyomni. Akashaha means Akashe. That is little grammar. Ityadayascha mantraha etamartham darshayanti. These mantras found in Rigveda and in Yajurveda also show this truth. Tatascha, therefore also, ekasya devasya sarvadyaksha bhuta chaitanya matrasya, of that one principle, one divine truth, which is the presiding factor of everything, which is bhuta chaitanya matrasya. In every living being, it is the consciousness principle. Paramarthata sarva bhoga anabhisambandinaha. That presiding principle has no sambandha. Sambandha, abhisambandha means relation. Anabhisambandinaha anyasya chetanantarasya bhave bhoktu anyasya bhava kim nimittayam srashti. The Pura Pakshi anyhow raises a question. If finally the ultimate truth has nothing to do, nothing to give or take from this creation, why at all is this creation created? Why all this? Shakespeare must have read a little Vedanta, so he wrote a play, Much Ado About Nothing. Much ado about nothing. Why all this noise? Why all this? Shankaracharya has explained it 100 times, but here at this point he says, don't ask such questions anymore. Iti atra prashna prativachane, asking a question and my again answering, etc., are not valid, not necessary. Anupapanne. Upapanna means what fits in well. Anupapanna means what does not fit in, does not fit well. Better not ask at all. Why? Why did Sri Shankaracharya go to a different mode or mood? Normally he is more than eager to explain everything with tremendous patience. But here he goes into a different mood, for he again remembers couple of mantras from Rigveda and Taittiriya Brahmana, and also refers to a shloka said by Bhagavan Krishna himself in a previous chapter, namely chapter 5. Rigveda 10th Mandala, pretty much the same section, 129th Sukta, but another mantra, 6th mantra. Previous one was 7th. Taittiriya Brahmana also, same second chapter, 8th section, Khanda or Brahmana, and 9th mantra. Previous one was, that was also 9th mantra. Same mantra has another line. The Vedas themselves sometimes say, Ko Adha Veda. You are asking all these questions, who knows? Who knows? Kaha iha pravochat. Who said this? That there is creation. Kuta ajata. Where have they come? Where from have they come? Kuta yam visrishti. So rather than answering, there are some Vedic portions which question the questioner, doubt the doubter. On higher planes, that's how it operates. On a lower plane, answers are given. On a higher plane, we are told, find out who is asking this question, who has this doubt. See? So, Ko Adha Veda. Adha is an exclamation, or expressing awe, expressing surprise, astonishment. We don't know, and therefore not worry too much about this. Find out how to get out of this mess. Don't go on picking into this mess by trying to find out where it began, how it proceeds. There is an expression in Sanskrit, Kakadanta Parikshanam. Somebody having nothing better to do was examining how many teeth a crow has. It's a useless exercise. Concern yourself with getting free. Muktim Icha. Muktim Icha Chet Tata. The Ashtavakra Gita has. If you are really interested in liberation, then go for the noble values, Prashanti, Danti, and so on, Shama, Dama, etc. Above all, leave your worldly desires. Desire is like poison. The Asha is Visha Samana. Such teachings come in Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra Gita does not concern itself with giving all kinds of explanations. It says just to come out of that mess. Don't get interested in the mess. Don't get interested in this Maya, for it never ends. Therefore, in a related context, they say you should never ask about the background of a Rishi. Rishi Moola. Don't worry about where the Nadi started, Nadi Moola. And in the old saying, Stri Moola. But there is no bias about women. What is meant is, if you are very attached to a woman, just get out of that attachment. Don't go on inquiring, who was her mother, who was her grandmother, from which family is she. That same thing applies to men also. That is, if you are a woman and you are very attached to man, some man, from a spiritual point of view, from a higher spiritual point of view, you must try to get detached. Don't pick on the details. So in that way, the Rigveda, Taittiriya Brahmana, and then there is, so they are Shrutis. So Shankaracharya puts Smriti, Gita is a Smriti, right? Says, he puts it in a separate sentence. Darshitancha Bhagavata. Bhagavancha Darshitavan. He showed in 5th chapter, 15th sloka. Ajnanena avrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Jantavaha, living beings, you and I, are getting deluded, getting too much interested in where is profit, where is loss. Swami Chinmayananji used to take people to task at some camps in Siddhbari in Himachal Pradesh. People travelled to Siddhbari near Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh. People travelled over to there from Chennai, from Kolkata, from far off places. But having come there, good old those days, they were carrying a little transistor radio and some of them were checking the stock prices, stocks and shares. And some of them vanished one morning in a 7-day camp. On the 3rd day, some people were missing. Swamiji found out that these people went to the nearest town, Dharamshala, to eat out, to do some shopping. And later he took them to task. You have come all the way to the spiritual camp. Even when you have come to a spiritual camp, can you not let go of your interest in stocks and shares? Can you not let go of your curiosity? How is this town? Are there some good restaurants? What else is worth seeing there? Some tourist attraction. Let us slip out. Morning, from the back door, we will just disappear. And in the evening, we come back as though nothing happened, sit quietly in the class. This guru is very smart. He keeps an eye on everybody. So as Swamiji mocked at them, made fun of them, took them to task, the Vedanta also takes us to task if we are getting unnecessarily involved, attached, unnecessarily getting stuck in things which ultimately are of no value. At the end of it all, you find your hands as empty as ever. Everything you grabbed with much excitement slips through the fingers. Then you find, empty handed I came, empty handed I go. My life has gone to waste. That should not happen. Therefore, come out of your moha. Do not get interested in lot of theories about moha, about maya. Powerful statements to make us wake up. The wake up call is given. Bhagavan Bhashyakara now says, Evam mam nitya shuddha buddha mukta svabhavam sarvajnam sarvajantuna atmanam api santam. Though it is said 100 times, our true nature is nitya, eternal, shuddha, ever pure, buddha, ever enlightened, woken up, mukta, ever free, sarvajnam. Here the context is not directly our nature, God's nature. Knowing God to be ever free, to be all-knowing, omniscient, and then it is said, He is the self of all living beings. In spite of it, alas, vast majority of human beings, they are deluded. This is a powerful verse where Bhagavan Krishna whiplashes us. What are you doing? Going round and round in circles, not getting to the essence. Avajananti mam mudaha manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajanantaha mama bhuta maheshwaram. Jananti in Sanskrit means people know. Jananti, people know. But be careful. The moment you put the preposition upasarga avajananti means people look down at somebody, at something. People do not understand the value of something. You hold a piece of gold and you throw it, misunderstanding it to be just some fake thing. This is fake gold. You threw it. Somebody else picked it up, went to the jeweler and found that it was pure 22 karat gold. So, avajananti means undervalue, look down, even find fault with. Deluded people find fault with me. They do not understand my true worth. And all this is because they see me. Sri Krishna is referring to himself. He is referring to his form, the way he looks. Manushim tanum ashritam ma. Deluded people look at me and because I look like any other human being, manushi tanu, human body, they think, well, let's not take Sri Krishna seriously. Shishupala and others thus continuously found fault with him, only to be punished, only to be taught a lesson in a very, very strong manner. Param bhavam ajanantaha, not knowing my higher nature. Param bhavam, paraha bhavaha tam na janantaha. What is that paraha bhavaha? Bhuta maheshwaram. In all living beings, there is a supreme ruler in their own heart. I am that, but they don't know. Thus, this is telling us in very strong terms, do not undervalue God. Think of God. Think of God with more and more feeling, more and more understanding, more and more seriousness. Don't be casual about God. Don't think you are so smart and don't pursue spirituality in some whimsical manner. One of the Bhashyas, Sri Shankaracharya says, Shastrajnopi swatantrena brahma vidya anveshanam na kuryat. Even if somebody has very good knowledge of scriptures, he should not go about this inquiry into the highest truth all by himself. He should draw from great teachers. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. So we meet one or two great people in physical form in life, we are blessed. Or in addition, we draw inspiration from saints and sages, enlightened ones who were at a period of time before even we were born in this life. But if they give to us tremendous clarity, surrender to them. Surrender to Nisargadatta, surrender to Ramana, surrender to Ramakrishna, surrender to Anandamayi Ma. Then there are in the modern times, some of us have met Chinmayanandas and someone like Amrutanandamayi still going around. She is going around and doing great work. Even now there are known and unknown masters in form of ladies or men, doesn't matter, but have a sense of submission to them. Do not do Brahma Vidya Anveshana Swatantrena. I don't need anybody. I'll myself find out. From childhood I have been very bright. Uh, all that doesn't do here. This looking inward is a different ball game. You better have a sense of surrender. Therefore, Shankaracharya elaborates on this. Avajananti avadnam paribhavam kurvanti. They have certain contempt about me. Paribhava, some places means defeat. They look at me as someone who has suffered a defeat, whereas I am ever victorious. Avadnam kurvanti, paribhavam kurvanti, ma moodaha vivekinaha, lacking in their viveka. Viveka is ability to see the true as true, to see the false as false, and these people don't have that. They see the true as false and they see the false as true. Manushi, Manushya Sambandhinim Tanum Deham Ashritam. They see me in a human body and they think that I have all the limitations of a human being. Avadnam paribhavam kurvanti mamuda avivekinaha manushi Manushya Sambandhinim Tanum Deham Ashritam Manushya Dehena Vyavaharantam Ityetat. Yes, like anybody else, Sri Krishna also was going round. And at this moment, when he was teaching Bhagavad Geetā to Arjuna, he was sitting like a charioteer. Arjuna is the master, and this man is just a driver. All that is very misleading. No wonder most people don't take Sri Krishna seriously. Param prakrishtam bhavam paramatma tattvam akashakalpam. There is a paraha bhavaha, this higher nature, which is to be seen through a certain receptive, pure mind. It is the Paramatma Tattva. It's the supreme principle of the supreme self. Atma, the self, Paramatma, the supreme self. And Akasha Kalpa, comparable with space. Ask a friend of yours, what do you see over there? And the friend says, nothing. What, nothing? There is space. Oh, the friend laughs. Oh, I didn't. I thought you are asking me to figure out whether there's a bird, an aeroplane, or it's raining. But it's plain sky. Therefore, I said nothing. But it's not nothing. It's space. Akashakalpam, antaratamam. The Lord is inside us. Therefore, we don't see. Ajanantaha, not knowing. Mama bhuta maheshwaram, sarva bhutanam, mahantam ishwaram swam atmanam. I am the master. I am the ruler of all living beings, says Sri Krishna. Simple verse, but the idea is we have to look within and see whether we are making this colossal mistake. Just a little more for this class. Tatascha tasya mama vajna bhavanena ahataste varakaha. Varakaha means, this is the connection that Shankaracharya gives to the 12th verse. Varakaha, Muda Varakaha. Expression comes in Mukunda Mala also. Varakaha means pitiable creatures, miserable ones. For they are suffering because they are ahataha, they are hit by, they are injured by, they are in the grip of this false notion that Sri Krishna is ordinary. Avajna bhavanena. By looking down at Sri Krishna doesn't lose anything. But those people like Shishupala, they lost their life itself. By you and me, ignoring God and getting very interested in things of the world. God doesn't lose anything, but we suffer. We have so much of agitations. Ahataha avadna bhavanena varakaha, miserable ones, pitiable ones, spoilt ones. Therefore, Lord Krishna whiplashes them once more and double check whether you are among them or you are a devotee standing apart. Mogha asha mogha karmanaha mogha jnana vichetasaha rakshasim asurim chaiva prakritim mohinim shrita. Once they have missed the main point, that life is meant for God realization. There is God. There is something way higher than how we presently see our own life. Life is meaningful. Life has a higher purpose. Life is beautiful. We don't see that. And every day we have drag on, taking our hand to our head 100 times. Oh no, I lost money here. Oh no, somebody insulted me. Oh, see, they are having a party, they are not inviting me. Oh, something or the other. Agitations, and once in a while a little happiness. Then that kind of thinking, and what is involved in that thinking, some desire, some hope, some aspiration, all related to this world which is by nature perishable. Moga asha, their aspirations are false. Moga karmana, they are people whose activities are futile. Moga jnana, their knowledge, their understanding, this they look very impressive, but actually their knowledge, being utterly materialistic, means nothing. Vichetasaha, they have lost their heads. Chetas is intelligence here. Vichetasaha, very unintelligent. Other day I met somebody in Mumbai, and he apparently met Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev, and some topic came up. And Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev said, it seems something wittily, Mr. Iyer, there are nothing like bad habits. There are only stupid habits. Oh, what does it mean? Don't call any habit bad. What is bad, what is good? But certainly in some of your habits, you lack intelligence. Knowing well, let us say, cigarettes harm your lungs, you go on smoking, let us say. Before you call it good or bad, ask yourself the question, is it intelligent to smoke, to drink alcohol, to hurt people, to deceive people, to tell lies? All these are they good? Before good or bad, are they intelligent? Are you not very stupid? So there are no good or bad habits, there are only intelligent and unintelligent habits, I believe Vasudev said. So like that, Vichetasaha, Rakshasim Asurim Chaiva. See, there is Devi Sampat, 16th chapter goes into it. And on the other side, Asuri Sampat, and that Asuri Sampat in a wilder form is Rakshasi Sampat. Sampat here means qualities. So demonic, devilish tendencies. And then Prakriti, Mohini Shrita. Such people are in the embrace of a certain nature which is continuously, repeatedly deluding them. They go from delusion to greater delusion. Alas. And such people do not enjoy the bliss of true spirituality. Shankaracharya explains it, which we'll see in the next class. But next class will be on verse Next Wednesday in India, I'll be traveling to Chhattisgarh for a 5-day spiritual retreat in Hindi language. So next Wednesday will be the 4th of September, the 3rd September in the West. Next Tuesday evening, I'll be at the airport trying to catch a flight to go to Orissa. From Orissa, go to Chhattisgarh, where a certain ashram is hosting a camp. And then 7th morning is possible. Yeah, so one class we will be skipping. So not next Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, but September 10th, September 10th evening in the West, September 11th, 9/11 in the India, 9/11 morning in India, 9/10 in the West. So one Wednesday will be skipping. So that next class we'll see Shankara Bhāshya on this verse 12 and then carry further also. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva.